After Everything, a series. Episode 3 Inches, The Woman at the Party. There are things a woman knows without being told. She feels them first, in the chest, in the stomach, in the way a room suddenly feels smaller the moment a certain person walks into it. The party is a celebration. Marcus, Quintavian's co-founder, is hosting at his new penthouse. The whole startup world will be there. Investors, partners, people Quintavian has been trying to impress for years and can now stand beside as an equal. Enjya stands in front of the mirror in her red dress, the one she bought alone last week from a boutique she found online because Quintavian was in back-to-back meetings and she needed something to wear and didn't want to bother him with something as small as, "What do you think of this one?" She looks at herself for a long moment. She looks good. She knows she looks good, but there is something about getting dressed for a party where she will know almost no one, where she will be Quintavian's partner, not Enjya, not the woman with her own dreams and her own name that makes even a good dress feel like a costume. Quintavian appears in the doorway in a navy suit that fits him like it was made for this version of him. He stops when he sees her. Quintavian, wow. Enjya, turning, good wow or bad wow? Quintavian, there is no bad wow when it comes to you. You know that. She smiles. He crosses the room and kisses her temple. For a moment she leans into him and closes her eyes, and everything feels simple again. Quintavian, you ready? Enjya, are you going to be present tonight? Actually present? Quintavian, gently. Enjya, I'm just asking. Quintavian, I will be present. I promise. Tonight is about us celebrating, okay? She looks at him, nods. Enjya, okay. She picks up her clutch, follows him out. She wants to believe him. She is getting tired of wanting to believe him. The party, 8:40 p.m. The penthouse is stunning. Floor-to-ceiling windows, the city spread out below like a living painting. Music that costs money just to listen to. People in clothes that were not bought online alone on a Tuesday night. Quintavian moves through the room like he was built for it. Handshakes, shoulder grabs, that laugh. He introduces Enjya to everyone, proudly, genuinely, and for the first hour he keeps his hand at the small of her back the way he always has, and she thinks, see? He meant it. He is present. Then Marcus pulls him aside for what he promises will be 5 minutes. 20 minutes later, Quintavian is across the room deep in conversation with 3 investors, and Enjya is standing near the window with a glass of champagne she is not drinking, talking to Marcus's girlfriend about a renovation project she does not care about. She is fine. She is absolutely fine. Then the door opens, and she walks in. Her name is Simone. Enjya will learn this 20 minutes later from Marcus's girlfriend, who mentions it casually. Oh, that's Simone. She and Quintavian used to be close back in the day, in the tone people use when close back in the day means something they are choosing not to say out loud. But right now, Enjya doesn't know her name. She just sees her. Tall, effortless. The kind of woman who walks into a room and doesn't seem to notice the room noticing her. A deep green dress, natural hair pinned up. A smile that arrives slowly, like it means something. Recognition. Warmth. Something older than tonight. Enjya sets her champagne glass down on the windowsill very carefully. From across the room, she doesn't go to him. She stays by the window and watches. Simone crosses the room toward the investor group. Someone introduces her. Quintavian turns, and Enjya sees it. The half-second before his face does what faces do in public. The half-second where something unguarded moves through his expression. Surprise, pleasure, and something else she can't name from this distance. He recovers immediately, smiles. They embrace, the polite kind, one arm, brief. He introduces her to the investors. She laughs at something. He laughs too. The real laugh, not the performance laugh, the one that lives in his eyes. Enjya stands at the window and watches her man laugh, his real laugh at something a woman from his past just said. She picks her champagne back up, takes a long sip. Marcus's girlfriend is still talking about her renovation. Enjya nods at the right moments, says and really, and wow, in the right places. Across the room, Quintavian and Simone are still talking. 5 minutes. 10. The investors drift away. It is just the two of them now, still talking. Quintavian runs a hand over his head, that new gesture. But he is leaning forward slightly, not the performing for investors lean, something more natural, more like himself. Simone touches his arm once. Briefly, the touch of someone who used to have permission. Enjya looks away. 10:22 p.m. Quintavian finds her on the balcony. Quintavian. There you are. I've been looking for you. Enjya, I've been here. Quintavian. You okay? You're quiet. Enjya, I'm fine. Just needed some air. He stands beside her, looks out at the city, puts his arm around her shoulders. Quintavian. Marcus wants us to stay for dinner. Small group. Just the partners and there. Enjya, is Simone staying? A pause. The kind that lasts exactly 1 second too long. Quintavian. I don't know. Probably. She knows Marcus too. Enjya, how do you know her? Quintavian. We went to the same university. We were friends. Enjya. Friends. Quintavian. Yes, Enjya. Friends. His voice is patient, calm. The voice of a man who has nothing to hide and wants her to know it. Or the voice of a man who has practiced being calm. She hates that she can't tell the difference anymore. Enjya, I want to go home. Quintavian. Surprised. We just got here 3 hours ago. Enjya, I know how long we've been here. I want to go home. He looks at her. She looks at the city. Neither of them says what is actually happening. Quintavian. Quietly. Okay, let me say goodbye to Marcus. He goes inside. She stays on the balcony. Through the glass she watches him cross the room, watches him stop, briefly, naturally, as if it would be rude not to, and say something to Simone on his way to Marcus. Through the glass she watches him cross the room, watches him stop, briefly, naturally, as if it would be rude not to, and say something to Simone on his way to Marcus. Enjya felt every one of them. In the car ride home, they don't speak, not at first. The city moves past the windows. The radio plays something low and jazzy that neither of them chose. Quintavian drives with one hand on the wheel, the other resting on the console between them, close to her hand but not touching it. She watches the streetlights. He clears his throat. Quintavian, are you going to tell me what's wrong? Enjya, nothing is wrong. Quintavian, you've said 3 words to me since we left. Enjya, I'm tired. Quintavian, Enjya, Enjya, Quintavian. Silence. 2 people who have never had trouble talking, sitting in a car together in complete silence. Quintavian, if you have something to say, say it. Enjya, I don't have anything to say. Quintavian, that's not true, and you know it. She turns and looks at him. He keeps his eyes on the road. Enjya, you promised me you would be present tonight. Quintavian, I was present. Enjya, you spent 40 minutes talking to her. Quintavian, I was networking. She's connected to 2 of our biggest potential partners. Enjya, so it was business. Quintavian, yes. Enjya, then why did you use your real laugh? Silence. The streetlights keep moving. The jazz keeps playing. Quintavian's jaw tightens just slightly. Just enough. Quintavian, what does that mean? Enjya, you know what it means. Quintavian, I'm not going to defend the way I laugh, Enjya. Enjya, I'm not asking you to. She turns back to the window. He doesn't say anything else. She doesn't say anything else. They ride the rest of the way home in a silence so thick it has a weight to it. The kind of silence that says everything neither of them is ready to say out loud. He goes straight to the bathroom. She hears the shower turn on. She sits on the edge of the bed in her red dress and stares at the floor. She is not angry about Simone. She wants to be clear with herself about that. She is not the jealous kind. She has never been the jealous kind. 10 years, and she has never once gone through his phone. Never interrogated his friendships, never made him feel like loving her meant shrinking his world. That is not what this is. This is something more precise than jealousy. This is the fact that for 40 minutes tonight, her man was fully, completely, effortlessly himself. The warm version, the real laugh version, the leaning in version, with someone who is not her. And she is sitting here trying to remember the last time he looked at her that way, trying to remember the last conversation where he leaned in. Trying to remember the last time she heard the real laugh. The shower turns off. She gets up, unzips the dress, hangs it carefully, changes into something comfortable, gets into bed and turns off her bedside lamp before he comes out of the bathroom. She hears him come in, feels the bed shift as he lies down. The lamp on his side clicks off. Darkness. Darkness. They lie side by side, not touching, in a bed big enough that not touching is easy. She stares at the ceiling. Quintavian. Quietly, in the dark. I'm sorry I wasn't more present. She doesn't answer right away. She lets the words sit in the dark between them. Enjya, thank you for saying that. Not, it's okay. Not, I forgive you. Not, don't worry about it. Just, thank you for saying that. He hears the difference. She knows he hears the difference. Neither of them says anything else. She closes her eyes, and for the first time in 10 years, she falls asleep facing away from him. End of episode 3. Till the next episode. Peace. After everything, created by Enjya. He didn't lie. He didn't cheat. He didn't even do anything wrong. But sometimes the most painful things in a relationship aren't the big betrayals. They're the small moments that make you feel invisible in a room full of people. Enjya saw everything tonight and said almost nothing. That's the part that should scare you. Question: why did you use your real laugh? Was Enjya wrong for feeling that? Or did Quintavian deserve every word of that silence? We want to know. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Peace.